Because I know it is still the case that some of you work in 2 jobs. Some maybe even 3. I know that. We are determined to fight for a future where you never again have to spend your own money on school supplies to meet your students' needs. We will fight for a future where teachers can educate our children with the resources, with the safety, and the respect that you deserve. Because we are clear, when we do that, we can be sure that every child can reach their God-given potential. So these are the values that our administration stands for. And I think when it comes down to it, it's basically this. When you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And so much of what we just got through talking about is what extremist so-called leaders stand against. Since our administration has started, not one Republican leader in Washington voted to rescue our nation in the middle of a pandemic, including when we proposed resources for our children and our educators. Not one Republican leader in Washington, D.C. voted to extend the child tax credit, which helps the poorest students and their families. Instead, these extremists, so-called leaders, fought against raising your pay. Instead, these extremists, so-called leaders, refused to keep assault weapons off our streets and out of our classrooms, and tried to silence your voice through your union. And instead, these so-called leaders have tried to make you pawns of their political agenda. Because while you work hard to inspire the dreams and ambitions of our next generation, they dare question your dedication, your motivation, and your value. While you work hard to teach the principles of liberty and freedom in your classroom, these so-called leaders are taking freedoms away. Freedom away from women and the freedom to make decisions over their own bodies. Freedom away from a kindergarten to 3rd grade teacher in Florida to love openly and with pride. And away from every American as they intentionally try to make it more difficult for folks to vote. We are 126 days away from an election, and we all know what we need to do. And you know, I also think, I'm speaking to a group of educators, I also think that these extremist so-called leaders need to attend a civics lesson. I actually think it would benefit us all if they sat in your classroom for a few days to remember how a democracy works. to remember what freedom stands for, and to remember what jobs they were elected to do.